Young man, you too can become a hero.
One revelation, two completely different reactions. Although both Deku and Mark are similar, the differences in their respective characters are what make both enjoyable to watch. This is the parallels between My Hero Academia and Izuku Midoriya and Mark Grayson, young kids who have no idea what being a hero is like until they're given the opportunity. Neither one of them start off with powers. In fact, Deku is told that he could never get a quirk, that he could never become a hero. Even still, Deku studies to be a hero, applying it to UA, the top school for aspiring heroes. As delusional as Deku is, he still wants to be a hero, and his reasoning for continuing when there's no light at the end of the tunnel is he won't know unless he tries. And this could have been explored further, whether Deku was right or not, but all that's thrown out the window when he gets the number one hero's quirk. GG lads.
Eat this!
But for Mark, the circumstances differ. For him, there's still hope. Nolan says that at the latest his power should be there before his 18th birthday, meaning there's still hope, though his chances decrease by the day. Deku doesn't have that. His mom, schoolmates, even the number one hero in the world tells him that he can't do it. The setbacks these two characters face is a great metaphor or simile, I don't know, for what makes them so different. Deku's a nerd, has no friends, gets bullied, doesn't get females, and is overall pretty relatable. And Mark seems to be confident, good-looking, funny. Wait, what was the point again?
I said I feel invincible.
The way these two get their powers honestly left a bad taste in my mouth, especially Mark. He goes from being beat up in one scene and in quite literally the next scene after he gets dropped has powers. The bully scene doesn't even happen in the manga. The scenes don't flow well at all, and you could get rid of the whole school scene and not much would change besides the fact you meet Amber later. But after pretty much the end of the season, who actually cares about her? But yay, he has powers now, I guess. My Hero executes the character retains power thing way better, but I wouldn't call it close to perfect. Deku tries to save Bakugo from the sludge villain. The fact he did that with no quirk inspires All Might to act, which leads him to getting his powers, which you couldn't remove without Deku never having his powers. Deku's heroic actions seamlessly transition into him getting his powers. It was masterfully done in my opinion, except for the fact we see the belief Deku has be completely shattered and forgotten when All Might gives him one for all. I think it would have been interesting to see Deku, someone quirkless, try to become a hero to prove everyone wrong, including All Might, especially since we see in season 2 that Deku can win without powers. Deku and Mark both have relationships with the number one hero in their respective worlds, and seeing both pairs interact creates some of the best moments the show's ever had. Deku only ever wanted to be like his hero, the number one hero, All Might, someone who can save people with a fearless smile. Then this happens.
You're degraded!
But what makes this relationship so different from the Graysons is this. We see All Might, the number one hero, being vulnerable. This scene teaches Deku the severity, the levity of being a hero, and I don't think he truly comes into his own as a hero until the Stain arc. In the entrance exam, he couldn't stay on his own 2 feet, couldn't get himself any points, and broke his arm and leg saving Uraraka. Sure, his heart's in the right place for a hero, but in most situations until Stain, Deku's a liability due to the fact that his bones are made of Play-Doh. Mark's relationship is far different from Deku's, as it is a father-son relationship and not a mentor-student pairing. Mark's known Omni-Man his whole life, so their bond's gonna be a lot stronger.
Fatality. Fatality. Fatality.
Never mind. Mark is pretty amateurish, clumsy, and doesn't really get the weight being a hero puts on you until episode 2, when he literally has blood on his hand and the old woman he tries his hardest to save dies. He even says himself he thought he'd punch some aliens, they'd go home, and that's it, which is a pretty naive notion. It doesn't even seem like Mark wants as much to be a hero as he does being just like his dad. We never hear him say, "Oh, I really want to be a hero." No, it's just, "I want to be like dad." But in the last episode, we see that Omni-Man isn't someone Mark can be like. They have two completely different set of goals, and now we have to see what type of hero Mark is gonna be without trying to be like Omni-Man. Speaking of which,
I am here.
the #1 hero, Toshinori Yagi and Nolan Grayson, All Might and Omni-Man, the strongest men in their respective worlds. But when you remove the strongest in the world title, there isn't much the two of them have in common. All Might is a much more vulnerable and inspiring character, and you couldn't say the same for Nolan after you watch the show. Though I would say Omni-Man is the more interesting character of the two and the most interesting character in his show. After Deku sees All Might's normal form, he reveals all his secrets to him, and sure, him seeing himself in Deku helped, but he could have just as easily threatened him because he's the #1 hero, he's the strongest in the world, so like what is Deku supposed to do in that situation, right? But Omni-Man only truly shows vulnerability in the last episode after confronting Mark, where when he leaves the earth we see him cry. After seeing this larger than life man who never really shows emotion, it's gotta be cathartic for both the viewer and himself, because everything about him for the most part was a fabrication, not even honest with those he's close to, his wife and child. The one time All Might keeps a secret from Deku and the viewer, it's heartbreaking because it's something that after getting to know him for so long you'd want to know. All Might is also far more respectful to everyone than Omni-Man. You can tell Omni-Man thinks the human race as a whole is inferior and not on his level based on the things he says and the actions he tries to push on Mark. He even compares his wife to a dog when they confront each other in the last episode, I believe, which is one of the many reasons I plan on spitting on his grave when he hopefully dies. All Might treats everybody with respect, even giving respect to police officers when all they do in his world is work on villain containment. All Might also feels more grounded, but also in a way more of a grand scale character than Nolan. We're told time and time again how great Omni-Man is, but he's never really shown that, and he's never really as recognized in the public as All Might is. And Omni-Man drops the so-called top heroes at the end of the first episode, but who cares? They literally only had a couple of short scenes. It would hit on a whole nother level if we saw All Might drop his world's top heroes like Endeavor, Best Genius, etc., because we care about them. They've been established over a longer time period. Not only that, we've shown All Might fight multiple characters and we hear people hype his overwhelming strength all the time. Doing that gives All Might an aura Omni-Man can't quite replicate. Well, this has been a longer video than normal, I think, but it was fun. I hope you enjoyed. I actually made this on my birthday, which is kind of cool, so I hope y'all watch it till the end. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you like next week or something.